Hey everyone, Tyler here from Camp Kitchen. I just put in about 30 minutes ago. I slept at the put-in last night. I drove right after work. I'm up north now and I'm in the canoe, which is a good feeling. I'm going to be meeting up with a couple friends who've already set up camp. I'm going to set up a tarp shelter, so first time setting up a tarp shelter. And we're going to be doing some deer hunting, sitting around the fire, hanging out, maybe some fishing. It's going to be a really good time. Okay, that was a portage, jeez. There's a very steep hill at the beginning, very steep, and very mossy and wet. I don't usually drag my canoe, but I had to drag it up that slope at the beginning. Luckily it was super mossy and not rocky at all. Took my sweater off. It's more mild than I expected it to be today. So I found their camp. Must be out walking in the woods. So I'm gonna start setting up my tent and make camp. I think that's good. I actually brought a Eureka ground tarp for one of my tents. Just gonna use that on the underside, keep me dry. Okay, I've got reflectix to protect my sleeping pad and for a bit of extra insulation. Got my -7 bag and my sleeping gear, my mattress and pillow. Okay, this is a beautiful lake. It's like all quartzite, all the shoreline. There's a beautiful quartzite cliff up there, covered in pine, spruce. I've got all my stuff cleaned up, got camp set up. and I'm just going to do a couple camp chores, and I might make a coffee and maybe have lunch. The guys are probably out doing some still hunting, so I'm just gonna wait for them to come back to camp before I do anything. I'm here for 4 or 5 days, so no rush, just hang out.
What's going on?
What's going on?
All right.
Fancy meeting you here.
Yeah, nice little setup you got.
Thanks. Tosh just emerged from the woods.
Merged.
There's one more to join.
Yeah, he might be a while. He said he was going to kind of spend most of the day out there, so.
I don't think I've ever had oatmeal for lunch before, but
That handle is very hot.
Tosh is having chili mac.
Beef chili mac and cheese. This is such a good meal.
That was a good one. I ran out of it. Actually, I have one bag, but it's like a half portion. I brought it though, so I'm gonna have it this weekend for this week. Do you want any more water in there?
Pardon?
I'm gonna have a coffee.
How about
Okay. Just going out for an afternoon or evening set in this beautiful hemlock thick ridge behind me, and there's a game trail that runs up around this ridge. I'm up on a ridge. There's a bit of a ravine down into a river or a creek, and a lot of hardwoods, some oak. So I'm gonna set up somewhat on the ridge, but I'm gonna see if I can see where the creek opens up a little bit and do a sit. Okay, so I found a bit of a ridge to sit up on. I have a view of the pond, or the creek, sorry. And I'm I'm in a spot where the ridge has a cut. It looks like there's a game trail, but I have a really good vantage point of the creek. And there's a lot of oak down. So I'm just gonna sit up here for a little bit, see how it turns out.
don't see anything, but I'm going to do a bit of scouting before it gets dark because I don't know if this is going to be a good spot, but I should scout a little bit on my way back to camp so I have a better idea of where to go tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm back at camp now. Did a bit of scouting, didn't see much. I'm gonna cut some firewood and get ready to have dinner. The guys will be back soon, probably. It's starting to get dark. I came back a bit early. I didn't put on base layers, and I started to get cold, so I just thought I'd come back and get some firewood and have a snack. Got some old cheddar. It's a beautiful lake.
How was your day?
It was good. It was a long one. I soaked my feet right at the beginning.
Oh.
Like first thing this morning, went right up to my knees.
Oh.
So I was like, it was good though. I was moving a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that might have been a bit much.
I mean, I always think that, and then it's not. Well, I didn't need to put so much water in the car.
That's good enough for a hot drink.
Yeah, I have hot chocolate.
Yeah, you could have still literally just put that on a plate at home and you'd never have a clue that it came out of the freeze dryer.
Yep.
So good.
Beef stew for dinner.
And hot chocolate for dessert.
This is just like exactly what I wanted after that day.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is just hitting the spot.
Good morning. Oh, that was a chilly night. It's nice and sunny out today so far, so the sun's coming up. Sat around the fire last night for a while, had stew, had lots of hot chocolate, and had some chocolate bars, so it was a good night. Get out and do some hunting. Me, Ben, and Tosh sat all morning around the fire. The sun was coming in nice and strong and warmed us up. I had some blueberry pecan oatmeal and a coffee, feeling fueled for the day. Packed some snacks for the hunt. The fog's rolled in. It's crazy. It was clear as you could see the other side of the lake, no problem, about 45 minutes ago. So yeah, I'm gonna walk up to that creek that I was at yesterday and walk up further the creek and check for sign and stuff. So yeah, should be a fun day. Just sitting down on the top of this ridge overlooking the creek. I'm just taking a rest and doing a little sit just so I don't sweat too much. But I'm going to drop down the ridge a little bit onto the next shelf down and walk up the creek and see if I can see any sign. So yeah, so far I haven't really seen much, but I feel like right now, this time of year, deer are looking for water and acorns, and through this creek is a hardwood thick, and it's all oak, and there's lots of acorns on the ground, so I'm hoping that it's going to attract some deer. Wow. That's so impressive. See the teeth marks. The shavings are all still right here. And there's his home. Right there. I don't know if you can see it, but got it right there. Beautiful. That's a good sign. It's pretty fresh. Maybe yesterday. They're seriously blowing my cover. That's insane. Set up on this ridge overlooking the creek. And I'm just gonna sit here for a couple hours to see if I can see anything. I've got a good vantage point and it's a bit of a pinch point, so I saw that fresh deer poop right down there. I brought some snacks. Got some dates. I got a chunk of cheddar, salami, and some nuts. Charcuterie. So the sun's starting to go down, so I'm gonna start making my way back to camp because I'm about 1 kilometer away, so I want to get back before it gets dark. I'm gonna do some scouting along the way.
There we go. You just want to eat this?
gas is still open, eh?
Yeah,
I think till the end of the month.
never mind.
What happened?
I just rolled in there.
That piece dense. I'll burn for a while. Okay, so we had a fire, made dinner. Super windy tonight, so we didn't hang out for too long. Hopefully my tarp stays up tonight.
Lots of bear poop here. Keep my eyes open. This is one massive birch tree. So, just sat down for a little bit. Gonna do a bit of a sit and make breakfast, have a little fire, make a coffee, and this is a pretty good spot. I got a pretty good vantage point. This is a pinch point down here. There's a pond and a ridge, and you can walk down that way. And then there's a good water source down here. There's another rock ridge up there that goes that way. And there's a cut here. So we'll see. I brought some Backcountry breakfast skillet. Here it is. It's my favorite breakfast we've made so far. Super delicious. I also brought a coffee. I'm gonna have that as well. I love this stove so much. I just put the stove on. There was a big rock in the ground already, and then I found another flat rock. So it's on 2 rocks, and then I scraped the moss away. I've been drinking these Alpine Start instant coffees with creamer, and they are delicious. I really like them. Having a little fire when we're sitting out here, especially in the mid-fall, such a game changer. That's why I love the twig stove so much. It's a personal little fire pit. I'm gonna make my breakfast, have a coffee. Yeah, it's nice. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, yeah. I'm so hungry. Oh, it's so good. Whew. Climbed up this ridge here, and I'm just creeping up on the top of the ridge. There's a lot of deer sign up here, so I'm just gonna keep exploring and hanging out. Probably not gonna sit as long today. It's a beautiful day, and I'm not seeing any deer, so I need to get into an area that has deer. All quartzite. Okay, I made it to the top of this ridge, and it's beautiful. I'm glad I did, but I don't want to get stuck up here, so I'm going to slowly make my way back. You can really get cliffed out here. There's a lot of granite and quartz cliffs. So I'm going to make my way back down and try to go the same way I came. That's pretty fresh and pretty big. So I've gotten about halfway down the ridge, but I'm just one step up from where I was sitting, where I made breakfast. And I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit. Mostly to catch my breath because that was a pretty steep slide. Seems like a pretty good area. There's a lot of tracks and stuff, and just see what happens. Packed another charcuterie lunch. Love this filter. It's the Catadine Be Free 1 liter. Good water. I did some more walking and I'm back to where I was sitting yesterday for my evening set. I've seen the freshest sign here. So it's better spot than nowhere, and it's closer to camp than where I was. So if I do see one, it's not as far to lug it back. So I'm just gonna sit for the evening and see what I see. And I'm really glad I walked up to the top of that ridge. It was absolutely beautiful, and this forest is unbelievable. Parts of it are very rainforesty. They almost remind me of British Columbia, just like 6 to 8 inches of moss growing on the understory. Giant hemlocks, giant birches. It's a beautiful forest. Just head back to camp now. Gonna make a fire, make some dinner, and warm up, change my socks, put some camp clothes on, hang out around the fire, hear the stories from the day.
Nice, dry, clean socks at the end of the day. Oh.
What are you making tonight?
I'm gonna have the harvest rice and duck pilaf.
Oh, yeah?
Round to the other side of it, and then up through those hardwoods and into the next lake there. And there was an amazing spot there. Like, that was the best spot I've seen so far, where it was just like way up on a ridge line, and on both sides you're looking down into the hardwoods.
Yep.
Like the most visibility I've seen, but still like no real fresh sign.
It's just getting to me like how much we've walked and how much ground we've covered. We've seen trails and tracks, and we still have yet to bump into a live deer.
I know.
Like at some point you think you would just stumble into one.
I know, and then it's just it's like whoops,
Yeah.
like didn't see that, but at least we know they're in here. Wow.
Pretty good, eh?
Oh, that's amazing. But no, seriously, like, even on just like a regular night at home, like any one of these would be amazing still.
Thank you.
It's so sunny. It's
It's so hard to complain about it.
Yeah. I do not care. The latest batch, I guess.
The blueberry
Blueberry?
pecan,
Yeah.
yeah. How's your oatmeal tosh?
I like it.
What's the only difference is the bananas?
This one is strawberry rhubarb almond.
Holy
Take a sniff of it.
yeah. Can't even see it. Wow. Sorry, that was a big scoop. Not on mine.
No, it's all good.
That's before we portion them. If we were doing proper portioning, that's probably a large portion.
Yeah, like a portion and a half. For sure.
Yeah.
It barely fits in my pot.
You had one of the new ones, eh, Tosh? Did you find that portion size to be better?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
hard
definitely.
because
Like
you
a
want.
slice of pie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what do you have hooked up on it? You said drop shot in the minnow?
Yeah.
So you just have like a weight on the end, and then like 6 inches up you have like a minnow tied on with a hook?
Yeah, exactly. And the way that oh no, never mind. The way the hook actually sits is that it like points right out, so the minnow actually sits horizontally in the water, like it's
Yeah.
like swimming.
Yeah.
And yeah, the weight on the bottom.
Huh. Seems complicated. I'm just kidding.
It's actually it's like my comfort lure. Like if nothing else is working, I'll just put this on.
Yeah. Well, we had a slow morning this morning, enjoying the sun. We slowly packed up and gonna make our way back.
One way to do it.
Portage is behind us. We're on the main lake now, and we're going to do some like looking around the shoreline, a little bit of exploring. But that's pretty much the end of the trip. We're just gonna slowly make our way back to the landing. Super grateful for the time spent out here. Hunting is it slows everything down. Walk out into the woods and your senses are heightened, and you're hearing sounds you wouldn't normally notice, and seeing the presence of animals that you wouldn't normally notice, whether it's scat or tracks or dug up moss or just cool. It's just neat to really sit and just become a part of it. I'm very grateful for that time. Had a really good time hanging out with Ben and Tosh. A lot of good conversation around the fire. Good meals. Ben got to test out some camp kitchen meals, which was cool. And yeah, really good time. We actually didn't even see any deer. Lots of sign, but that's okay. I feel like I'm slowly building towards, you know, those outcomes of harvesting, and sort of a believer that every experience is a stepping stone to the future. So looking forward to putting the pieces together and having some success. I know I'm getting closer. I'm feeling more comfortable, especially listening to Tosh and Ben and some of their guidance.